Meet Emma, a young girl with an extraordinary gift that saves a plane from disaster and unravels a mysterious conspiracy. The first to sense the danger wasn't the captain, it was Emma, a young girl in seat 23, her fingers tracing the lines of a sketchbook. She paused, her pencil freezing midair, as she tilted her head slightly, tuning into a frequency only she could hear. Emma had always been different. Growing up near an old radio station, she learned to read machines like others read books. Her grandmother, a former radio operator, had taught her to listen, to feel the vibrations that others ignored. Emma's grandmother sat beside her. Knitting quietly, she looked up as Emma's foot began to tap. In perfect sync with something invisible, the tray table rattled softly. Around them, passengers chatted, unaware of the subtle change in the plane's hum. But Emma knew something was wrong. In the cockpit, Captain Linda Harris noticed the blinking light on the instrument panel. She leaned forward, her brow furrowing. The gauge for engine pressure was blank. It shouldn't be. She turned to her first officer. Run a full diagnostic on engine 1. The first officer's fingers danced over the controls. Already done, Captain. No response. Captain Harris's jaw tightened. This wasn't just a glitch. Behind them, Emma flipped her sketchbook over and began drawing with urgency. Each line was sharp, deliberate. She didn't know what part of the plane she was hearing, but she knew something was wrong, and it wasn't going away. In a few minutes they would all know. Right now, only she did. But how could she warn them? Emma looked around the cabin. Passengers laughed, slept, or stared out the windows, oblivious to the danger. She turned back to her sketchbook, her pencil moving faster. She had to do something. Anything, to alert the crew. Up front, Captain Harris's voice grew sharp. Shut down engine 2 and reroute power. The first officer nodded, his fingers flying over the controls. We're losing pressure on the primary line. This isn't just a misfire. Captain Harris didn't respond. She didn't like making calls off guesswork. But that light had flickered for a reason, and now the sensors weren't telling her why. Behind them, Emma's grandmother leaned over, her voice low. What is it? Sweetheart. Emma didn't look up. She just kept drawing, her eyes scanning the cabin, looking for a way to catch someone's attention. A flight attendant passed by, her smile automatic. Emma reached out, her hand touching the attendant's arm. The attendant turned, her smile fading as she saw the urgency in Emma's eyes. Is everything okay, honey? Emma handed her the sketchbook. The lines on the page were complex. A map of the plane's systems, but there in the center was a jagged line, a clear indication of trouble. The attendant's eyes widened. She looked up at Emma, then back at the sketchbook. What is this? Before Emma could answer, the plane lurched, not violently, but enough to make passengers gasp. The captain's voice came over the intercom, calm but firm. We're experiencing a minor technical difficulty. Please remain seated. But Emma knew it was more than minor. She had to make them see, make them understand. She looked up at her grandmother, tears in her eyes. I have to help, Grandma. Her grandmother nodded, her hand squeezing Emma's. You do what you have to, sweetheart. The attendant looked down at the sketchbook, then back at Emma. I'll take this to the cockpit. Stay here. As she walked away, Emma's heart pounded. She had done what she could. Now it was up to the crew to believe her. And if they didn't, if they couldn't fix whatever was wrong, then it was up to her to find another way, because she couldn't just sit here and do nothing. Not when she knew, not when she could feel the plane's distress, not when she had the power to do something about it.